The invitation to the roots. Welcome. Release your grip on the day and prepare for a deep, restorative journey. We are leaving the world of speed and noise, trading the frantic rhythm of the clock for the ancient, unwavering heartbeat of the forest. Allow yourself to settle fully into the space where you are resting. Feel the simple, profound weight of your body, the softness of the surface supporting you, and the slow, consistent movement of your breath. In this space, there is nothing left to hold on to, nothing left to chase. We are returning to the source of profound peace, to the primal sanctuary of the earth, the great, silent taiga. We are seeking the forest's breath, a rhythm that has sustained life for millennia. This journey is not about looking at the trees, the leaves, or the sky, but about looking through them. We will journey down into the hidden world of roots, soil, and slow, essential cycles. We are trading the chaos of the fleeting surface for the profound stability of the foundation. Allow your eyelids to close now, or soften your gaze, and initiate the transition from the fast, demanding world outside to the slow, accepting world within. Take a long, deep inhale, consciously drawing the air down to the very base of your lungs. Feel the air as clean, cool energy entering your body. And now, release a slow, complete exhale, deliberately letting go of any lingering tension held in your shoulders, your jaw, and the delicate muscles around your eyes. With every breath, you sink deeper, closer to the earth, closer to rest. Let the noise outside become distant, muffled, and irrelevant. You are already beginning to sync with the deeper pulse of the world. The surface world operates on minutes and seconds, a frantic, high-frequency signal that keeps our minds perpetually alert, causing tension and exhaustion. The ancient forest operates on a different scale entirely. Here, time is measured not in the fleeting span of a human life, but in annual rings and geologic epochs. We are inviting you to sync your inner clock with this vast, patient, and enduring time. Imagine a single 1,000-year-old cedar or pine. Over its immense lifetime, it has witnessed countless seasons and slow centuries, yet its growth has been constant, unhurried, and deeply rooted. We will adopt the mentality of that ancient sentinel. We will leave behind the urgency that constantly tells us we must be fast to be effective, and embrace the profound truth that to be truly stable, we must be slow and deep. This is the core lesson of the forest floor. True resilience comes from a deep commitment to an unwavering, patient pace. This journey is a descent into biological permanence. The roots beneath the soil are not frantic. They are profoundly committed. They do not worry about tomorrow's weather or next year's economy. They draw sustenance from the immense, reliable reservoir of the earth. As we begin our journey, release the anxiety associated with planning, future gazing, or past regret. Embrace the knowledge that stability is achieved by grounding yourself firmly in the present moment, just as the 1,000-year-old root system anchors the mightiest tree against any storm. You are consciously exchanging the brittle fragility of speed for the enduring strength of the deep root. Now, visualize yourself standing at the edge of the ancient taiga. The air is cool, clean, and carries the faint, comforting scent of pine, damp moss, and rich earth. This is the forest gate. Before you is the dense, almost impenetrable wall of green, a silent, towering shield against the external world. The wind moves through the high branches, creating a soothing white noise that filters out all harsh, specific sounds. Take one final deep breath, inhaling the sharp clarity of the forest air. As you exhale, imagine stepping across a fundamental threshold. You are leaving the noise, the screens, the deadlines, and the insistent demands of your day behind, setting them down gently outside the perimeter of the woods. With every step deeper into the forest, the light softens, the sound dissipates, and the world shrinks down to the essential elements: earth, wood, and the simplicity of your breath. The journey begins with profound surrender. Surrender your sight to the dimming, gentle light filtering through the high canopy. Surrender your hearing to the profound quiet, the sound of nothing but the rustle of your own breathing and the steady, calming beat of your heart. You are not searching for anything external. You are simply allowing the forest to envelop and hold you. The massive, ancient trees stand as silent guardians, observing your transition. We are now moving beneath the canopy's filter, where the dense, overlapping needles and branches act as the perfect acoustic dampener, catching and neutralizing every harsh, outside sound. With every meter we descend mentally, the external chaos is muffled, muted, and finally rendered completely silent. You are sinking into the cool, still patient heart of the world. Your journey is no longer horizontal, but deeply vertical. We are going down, past the bark, past the thin surface layer, into the dark, silent world of the soil. We are preparing to meet the hidden foundation, the deep network of life that proves that the greatest connection and the most essential communication happen beneath the surface, in the quiet dark. Settle deeper now, feeling the gravity pull you gently toward the peace of the earth. The time of the roots begins, and the pace of rest is set. The Taiga Veil. Introduction to Silence. We have entered the ancient taiga, the vast boreal forest that covers the northern latitudes like an immense green ocean. Our journey begins high above us, at the sentinel canopy. Look up now, in your mind's eye, at the colossal, intricate ceiling created by the overlapping crowns of pines, firs, and spruces. These trees are not simply reaching for the sky, they are actively guarding the ground below. The sentinel canopy is the forest's most powerful filter. It is the boundary that defines the difference between the chaotic world of the atmosphere and the quiet world of the soil. Above the canopy, the wind screams, the sun burns with intense, direct energy, and the noise of the outside world travels unobstructed. Below it, everything is profoundly transformed. The dense needle and branch structure of the evergreens acts as a powerful acoustic dampener. Imagine the millions of needles and twigs catching, slowing, and neutralizing sound waves. The harsh, high-frequency sounds of traffic, alarm, and urgent voices are caught and muffled, reduced to a single, continuous low-frequency hum, the forest's own white noise. This is the first layer of protection, proving that stability begins when we filter out unnecessary auditory chaos. Now, apply this filtering force to your own mind. Imagine your thoughts are the sound waves hitting the thick, resilient canopy above you. Let the gentle, dense covering of the forest catch every frantic, urgent, and stressful thought. Do not fight these thoughts. Simply observe them being slowed, softened, and neutralized as they encounter the immense, ocean filter of the ancient trees. Feel the stillness settle in your mind as the noise is effectively dampened. The canopy also provides thermal stabilization. It protects the forest floor from the sudden, sharp fluctuations of temperature. In the taiga, the canopy keeps the heat of the day from scorching the delicate understory, and it helps to trap the residual warmth of the ground during the cold night. This creates a highly stable, predictable microclimate that minimizes stress on all life below. This stable temperature is a metaphor for the emotional balance we seek. Just as the canopy prevents extreme temperature swings, allow the vast patient cover of the forest to protect you from the sharp, sudden swings of emotion. You are resting beneath a shield that guarantees consistency, moderation, and unwavering calm. Feel the stable, cool air of the understory settling into your lungs, regulating your internal environment. The sheer density of the sentinel canopy is also a lesson in security. These trees have stood for centuries, their crowns locked together in a silent, collective defense. A single tree may bend, but the massive, interlocking community of the canopy stands firm against the fiercest storms. You are resting beneath the strength of this collective resilience. With every deep breath you take, feel the protective presence of the wood above you. You are insulated, secured, and held within a filters of immense ancient power. The journey begins with the recognition that you are safely shielded from the chaos of the air. You are sinking deeper into the stillness, leaving the turbulent upper atmosphere behind, protected by the quiet strength of the sentinel canopy. Your body is relaxing further now. You are accepting the quiet. You are accepting the stability. The canopy has filtered the world, and all that remains is the profound stillness necessary for rest. We continue our descent beneath the sentinel canopy. As the external world's noise has been filtered out, we now turn our attention to the quality of light. The atmosphere above the taiga is often intense and bright, demanding and sharp, what we might call noisy light. But beneath the thick, interlocking arms of the ancient conifers, that light undergoes a profound, beautiful transformation. Here, we observe the geometry of light. The dense, overlapping needles and branches do not block the light entirely. Instead, they act as an immense, intricate optical sieve, breaking down the sharp, aggressive solar energy into soft, scattered, and digestible fragments. The bright, high contrast world of the surface gives way to the deep, calming diffusion of the understory. Visualize the soft, dappled light that now falls around you. It moves slowly, shimmering gently on the forest floor, never staying in one place for too long, but also never leaving the scene in absolute darkness. It is light that no longer commands attention, but merely suggests presence. This is quiet light, light that invites rest, softness, and the relaxation of the eyes. This transformation of light holds a vital lesson for the mind. When we are exposed to constant, demanding visual input, the sharp focus required by screens, the bright glare of urgency, the high contrast of constant alertness. Our minds remain tense and reactive. The forest teaches us how to diffuse internal energy. Take a slow, deep breath and imagine the harsh, commanding thoughts that usually occupy your attention. Now, visualize the filtering power of the canopy, softening those thoughts, breaking their sharpness into gentle, moving shadows. Your mental landscape is no longer one of stark contrast, but one of soft, blending gradients. Let your awareness become like the quiet light on the forest floor, moving, yes, but always soft, always diffuse, and never demanding urgency. Release the strain of sharp focus and allow your mind to blur the edges of necessity. You are safe in the realm of the soft gradient. Within this geometry of light, we find pockets of profound, stable shadow. Because the coniferous canopy is so dense and persistent year round, the deep shadows beneath the trees are not transient. They are ancient, reliable fixtures of the landscape. They represent safety, stability, and guaranteed protection from the heat and the glare. They are the forest's own cool refuges, the places where energy is conserved and rest is assured. Settle your mind into one of these deep, stable shadows now. Feel the coolness and the stillness of that shadow enveloping you, guaranteeing a space where there is no need for performance or display. Here, in the quiet dark, you are simply held. This is the peace that comes from knowing you are deeply sheltered from the intensity of the sun. The forest is using its complexity not to confuse, but to protect and simplify your environment. The silence we achieved with the canopy's filtration is now completed by the visual quiet of the diffused light. This is the acoustic and visual silence required for true, deep surrender. The constant sensory bombardment of the surface world is gone, replaced by the soft whisper of light and the steady depth of shadow. The geometry of light is a dynamic, patient process. As the sun moves its vast distance across the sky, the dappled patterns shift on the moss and the old pine needles. But the quality of the light, its softness and its diffusion, never changes. This constancy of gentleness is the peace we are seeking. It is a reminder that even as the world moves and changes around you, your internal commitment to softness and calm can remain an unwavering, beautiful constant. Let the light soften your internal landscape. Let the shadows assure your stillness. You are sinking deeper now, the scent of damp earth rising gently to meet you. The visual energy has slowed down, allowing your eyes to rest fully. Your mind is calming down, allowing your thoughts to slow down. You are preparing for the ultimate descent into the roots. As we settle deeper beneath the protective canopy and the softening light, we encounter the great seasonal pause, the fundamental rhythm of life in the taiga. The boreal forest exists in extremes, brief, intense summers, followed by long, pervasive winters. Life here has mastered the art of survival, not through constant activity, but through the profound wisdom of retreat and conservation. Imagine the transition from late autumn into deep winter, the hurried, visible activity of the surface world, the rushing growth, the flurry of bloom, the frantic feeding has ceased entirely. The energy of the entire ecosystem is no longer diffused across the bright, open air. It is gathered, consolidated, and pulled down into the quiet, dark sanctuary of the soil. This is the principle of concentration of life. The deciduous trees have shed their leaves, minimizing surface expenditure. The sap, the lifeblood of the great conifers, slows its ascent and descent, operating at a minimal, patient pace. The focus shifts entirely from external reaching to internal sustaining. This great pause is not a failure of life, it is life's most elegant strategy for long term endurance. Allow your mind and body to mimic this retreat now. Feel the mental energy that is normally diffused across countless tasks, worries, and surface demands, slowly being pulled back to your core. You are entering your own internal winter, a time of necessary retreat where all unnecessary expenditure is suspended. You are conserving energy for deep, restorative rest. Release the psychological pressure to be actively growing or performing right now. That time will come. Now is the time for the pause. As the external world goes silent, the internal world becomes robust. The frozen earth itself becomes the ultimate insulator and protector. Visualize the thick layer of snow blanketing the forest floor, a perfect thermal blanket ensuring that the roots below remain stable, shielded from the worst extremes of the atmospheric cold. Beneath the snow, the earth is dense, dark, and utterly still. This stillness is guaranteed by the cold. The cold is not a hostile environment in the taiga, it is the guarantor of stability and longevity. In the frozen embrace of winter, the processes of decay slow to a near standstill. Pests and rapid decomposition are suspended, and the life of the roots is allowed to exist in a state of metabolic perfection. They rest without depletion, held in a stasis that ensures their centuries-long survival. Sink your awareness into the sensation of this profound, cold stability. Feel how the frozen density of the earth locks everything into place. There is no movement, no vibration, no chaotic flow. Your body is heavy, dense, and perfectly still, anchored by the cold, unwavering stability of the earth itself. The frozen ground is your ultimate commitment to stillness. The ancient trees use this pause to perform their deepest work, internal repair, fortification, and planning for the long cycle ahead. They are not idle. They are engaged in the quiet, essential work of maintenance. This is the quality of rest we seek, not emptiness, but deep, focused, regenerative maintenance. Allow your muscles, your organs, and your nervous system to enter this state of profound, efficient rest. The message of the great seasonal pause is one of unconditional patience. The taiga does not attempt to force growth in December. It accepts the limitations of the season and rests, knowing that the energy gathered during this pause will be the fuel for the explosion of life when spring finally returns. This is the rhythm of true, enduring strength. Embrace the current necessity of rest, trusting that your time for outward action will return naturally, without force or hurry. You are now fully enveloped in the silent, cold embrace of the taiga's internal rhythm. You are protected by the sentinel canopy, softened by the geometry of light, and held in the unshakable stillness of the great seasonal pause. The surface world is now just a distant, muffled memory. All your energy is being gathered and concentrated in your core, preparing you for the deepest, most restorative rest possible. Let the quiet cold sink into your bones, anchoring you to the stable, enduring heart of the earth. We have been shielded by the sentinel canopy, softened by the geometry of light, and anchored by the great seasonal pause. We are now ready for the final, most crucial step of our initiation into the forest's silence, the descent to the loam. Leave the air behind entirely. We are moving past the visible plain, past the bark, past the brittle surface litter, and into the dark, protective embrace of the earth itself. Feel the subtle yet profound shift in atmosphere as you move from the domain of the air, a place of turbulence, noise, and sudden change, to the domain of the earth, a place of silence, density, and ancient constancy. The first layer we encounter is the mossy cushion, a thick, damp, living blanket covering the forest floor. It is soft, cold, and immensely porous. As you sink into this moss, feel it absorbing all the remaining kinetic energy of your day. The moss acts like a final acoustic filter, muffling even the sound of your own quiet movement. Let this softness be the last sensation of the surface. Next, we move through the layer of forest litter, the accumulated pine needles, fallen twigs, and decaying cones from decades past. This layer is a historical record of the forest's slow metabolism, a collection of past efforts gently surrendered back to the earth. As you pass through this layer, mentally surrender your own accumulated litter, the small worries, the petty anxieties, the unfinished tasks of the last few days. They are not destroyed, they are simply returned to the earth, awaiting the patient process of decomposition and rest. Now, we reach the humus layer, the rich, dark, biologically active topsoil. This is the living skin of the forest, the boundary between the visible world and the deep foundation. The humus is fragrant, dense, and warm with the slow, steady work of billions of microorganisms. This warmth is not the frantic heat of fire, but the persistent, slow, sustaining warmth of biological renewal. Feel the density of the humus surrounding you. It is a dense, soft resistance that requires no effort to penetrate. It simply holds you. This density is the ultimate expression of grounded security. It is impossible to fall further, impossible to be thrown around. You are enveloped in the heavy, stable embrace of the earth. This feeling of being held is the essence of true rest. Allow your muscles to release their final residual tension, knowing that the dense earth itself is taking over the duty of holding you up. The true destination is the loam, the rich subsoil that sits beneath the humus layer. Loam is the anchor of the forest. It is a perfect balance of sand, silt, and clay, providing the ideal mixture of stability and nutrient retention. It is here that the true, ancient roots of the taiga reside, the network that we will explore in the next chapter. The descent to the loam is a meditative technique for disconnection. The loam is deaf, it is blind, it is thermally constant, it is chemically isolated from the atmospheric whims above. By sinking your awareness into this deep, protective layer, you are voluntarily isolating your internal state from the external chaos. You are becoming as stable, as dense, and as quiet as the loam itself. In this deep, dark space, sight is unnecessary and sound is non existent. The mind must, by necessity, cease its frantic external scanning and turn inward. This turning inward is not an act of struggle, it is an act of profound relief. You are no longer on duty, you are simply sinking into the quiet, dark reservoir of the earth. Connect your breath to this density. With every inhale, feel the air as an essential nutrient, clean and slow. With every exhale, feel your body becoming heavier, denser, and more profoundly rooted in the loam. Feel the weight of the earth beneath you, supporting you completely. You are not a lightweight, floating entity. You are a heavy, grounded, and immovable form. This is your sanctuary. The loam is your unmoving bed. It has remained here, stable and unchanging, for millennia. Its slow, deliberate pace is guaranteed by its depth and its density. You are adopting its fundamental characteristic, immovability. Take a final moment here, in the dark, dense loam, to prepare for the meeting with the roots. You have shed the light, the sound, and the velocity of the surface. You are now ready to perceive the silent language of the hidden world, the ancient communication network that occurs only when the world is completely still and profoundly grounded. Your journey into the forest's deep stability is complete. You are anchored. You are quiet. You are ready to listen to the wisdom of the roots. Rest now, deeply held by the earth. The Wood Wide Web, Silent Conversation. We have completed our descent to the loam, and now find ourselves fully immersed in the soil, in the quiet, absolute dark that is the home of the roots. This is the hidden foundation of the Taiga, the immense, complex network that anchors every single living thing above us. In the visible world, we value height, reach, and speed. Down here, the only measure of success is depth, commitment, and stability. The mighty trunk of the ancient pine, standing 30 meters high, is merely the visible consequence of the silent, enduring work done in this dark, cool soil. Its stability is guaranteed not by its mass above, but by its deep, sprawling commitment to the earth below. Visualize the complexity around you. The roots are not just straight lines plunging downward. They are an intricate, woven tapestry of large anchoring structures and millions of delicate, fine feeder roots. The thick, woody roots are the anchors, plunging deep into the mineral soil, locking the tree against the immense destructive forces of the winter wind and the weight of the snow. They teach us that true strength is not rigid, but deeply rooted and flexible. They embrace the stones, follow the path of least resistance, and weave around obstacles, never breaking their commitment to the earth. Now, apply the imagery of these roots to your own inner foundation. Your anxieties, your stresses, and your hurried movements are the wind and the storm that threaten to shake your tranquility. The remedy is not to fight the wind, but to deepen your roots. Allow your awareness to settle lower, sinking beneath the emotional surface where the storms rage. Find the place of deep, silent commitment within your own body, your core stability, your deep breath, the unwavering beat of your heart. Feel the profound sensation of being unshakably anchored. You are no longer vulnerable to being blown about by the changing circumstances of the day. You are heavy, dense, and connected to the massive, immovable structure of the earth. The root structure gives the taiga its unique resilience. It survives because it is more foundation than facade. The fine feeder roots, those millions of tiny, delicate white strands, offer a different lesson. They are the active seekers, constantly but slowly expanding the tree's reach for nutrients and moisture. They are not frantic, they are patiently persistent. They represent an energy that is always at work, but never rushed. Their growth is imperceptible hour by hour, yet over a lifetime, their cumulative effort builds an incredible web of sustenance. This patient persistence is the key to deep rest. Release the pressure to achieve large, sudden results in your rest. Instead, focus on the micro commitment to peace, the quiet, constant work of softening your jaw, slowing your breath, and sinking deeper into the feeling of support. Each tiny moment of surrender is a feeder root, slowly, persistently drawing vital energy and calm from the stable earth. In this hidden foundation, the concept of solitude is redefined. While the tree appears to stand alone above ground, down here, it is profoundly integrated. The entire root system is a complex, interwoven architecture, often touching, sometimes grafting, and always sharing space and influence. This quiet coexistence teaches us that even in our deepest solitude, we are part of a vast, interconnected foundation of life. The silence is not lonely, it is rich with hidden presence. Let the peace of the roots stabilize you entirely. Feel the weight of the loam pressing gently on all sides, securing you in place. You have found your anchor. You have found your commitment to depth. You are now ready to perceive the silent language of this hidden architecture, the profound conversation that happens only in the dark, where stability is absolute and patience is infinite. Settle into the safety of this subterranean home. We are nestled here, deep in the loam, alongside the millions of fine feeder roots that constitute the hidden foundation. As we observe these delicate white strands, we discover a reality far more profound than simple anchoring. We find the great silent communication system of the taiga, the wood wide web. The secret to this web is not the tree itself, but the life form that surrounds and integrates with its roots, the mycorrhizal fungi. Visualize the soil around you, not as inert dirt, but as a vast, dark, neurological network. Extending from the tips of the feeder roots are millions of microscopic, white threads called hyphae. These hyphae are finer than a single strand of human hair, yet their cumulative length in just 1 cubic meter of soil can stretch for miles. This network of fungal threads is the fungal bridge, and it connects virtually every living plant in the forest, pine to spruce, old tree to sapling, even grass to massive cedar. It is a silent, subterranean information superhighway operating without noise, electricity, or visual signal. It is the ultimate expression of profound, essential interdependence. Take a deep breath now and understand the terms of this silent, ancient contract, the perfect biological trade economy. The tree, standing above ground, is the master of photosynthesis. It captures the sun's demanding energy and converts it into complex sugars, carbon. It has an abundance of energy, but its roots are physically limited in their ability to search for vital, rare minerals like nitrogen and phosphorus, which are scattered thinly in the soil. The fungi, operating in the dark, cannot photosynthesize. They have no access to the sun's energy, but they are the masters of subterranean scavenging. Their immense network of hyphae allows them to reach deep into tiny crevices and distant pockets of soil, dissolving minerals and water that the tree roots could never access. The exchange is simple and unwavering. The tree trades its abundant energy, carbon saw sugar, for the fungi's abundant reach, minerals, water. It is a constant, mutual transfer based entirely on trust. No money is exchanged, no negotiations are held, and no individual entity attempts to hoard resources. Both would perish without this generous, constant partnership. Let this revelation sink into your rest. The feeling of being self sufficient, of having to generate all your needs alone, is a source of exhaustion. The forest shows you that strength is found in shared resource allocation. You are a complex system of interconnected parts. Your breath supports your blood, your mind manages your body, your stillness regenerates your systems. You are not a single, isolated tree. You are a vast, supportive network engaged in constant, silent exchange. Feel the profound peace of this silent conversation. All this vital information, where water is scarce, where nutrients are abundant, where the soil needs help, is transmitted across the fungal bridge without a single sound, without a moment of panic or rush. The exchange rate is constant, the commitment is absolute, and the process is slow, steady, and utterly reliable. This mycorrhizal network is the antidote to the competitive, rushed mindset of the surface. It proves that cooperation is the deepest form of survival. When a tree is stressed by drought, it signals for help. When a tree is well fed, it pumps extra carbon into the network to support its neighbors, even those of a different species. The forest operates with the ethical wisdom that the strength of the whole is the only guarantee of the survival of the part. Rest now, knowing you are connected to this ancient biological truth. Visualize thin, supportive, silvery threads weaving from your core, connecting you not to external chaos, but to the deep, supportive structure of the earth. These threads draw up the stability and calm of the loam and return any lingering tension back to the soil for silent decomposition. You are being sustained by a hidden web of interdependence. Your existence is guaranteed by an unwavering, nonverbal contract of mutual support. Sink into the silence of this connection. Release the burden of solitary effort. You are part of the vast, quiet wisdom of the fungal bridge. We continue our quiet immersion within the fungal bridge, the immense network of hyphae that connects the roots of the ancient taiga. Here, we move beyond simple trade and observe the network's profound reaction to stress. The surface world sees a healthy tree standing tall, but beneath the loam, the silent conversation is often one of shared difficulty, managed through a protocol for support. When a tree is under threat, perhaps a drought limits its access to distant water, or a localized pest invasion damages its leaves, it cannot shout a warning. Instead, it alters its chemical signature. Through the fungal network, the stressed tree begins to transfer warning compounds, known as defense signals, to its neighbors. Simultaneously, it sends an urgent call for support, primarily carbon, energy, which is the lifeblood of the forest. Imagine this moment of crisis not as a solitary battle, but as a slow, quiet broadcast deep beneath the soil. The nearby, healthier trees receive this signal. They do not pause to debate or calculate the cost. They immediately begin to redirect their surplus energy, the sugars they generated today, back through the hyphal strands to the struggling neighbor. This is the dialogue of stress, a nonverbal, instinctive act of support where stability is maintained through immediate, selfless collaboration. This teaches us a fundamental truth about endurance. Survival is a collective state, not an individual achievement. The entire forest understands, without conscious thought, that a weakness in one part compromises the entire canopy. By shoring up the struggling neighbor, the healthy trees are ultimately protecting their own long-term survival. They are investing their surplus energy into the foundation. Allow this profound sense of secure collaboration to settle into your rest. Think of any recent stress or difficulty you have faced. Now, visualize the healthy parts of your own internal system, your steady breath, your calm core, your relaxed muscles, sending their surplus energy to the areas that need it most. You are activating your own internal protocol for support, where your innate stability is actively healing any localized tension. You do not need to fight the stress externally. You need to manage the resource allocation internally. Let your calm, patient awareness be the healthy tree, constantly redirecting vital energy and stillness to the tired mind or the tense body. This is a quiet, continuous act of healing performed in the dark, without haste or fanfare. The stability of the ancient taiga is a direct result of its collaborative resilience. No tree is allowed to fall completely if another tree has resources to give. This creates a highly stable, self-regulating ecosystem where peaks and valleys are smoothed out by the constant, generous flow of resources through the fungal bridge. Settle deeper into the secure feeling of this shared resilience. The roots and the fungi are teaching us the power of non-judgmental support. They do not assess why a tree is struggling. They simply respond to the need. They do not calculate when they will be repaid. They trust the integrity of the system. In this deep, silent world, we are released from the burden of proving individual strength. The forest's wisdom is clear. Be a source of support when you can, and accept support when you need it. You are part of a foundation that is actively designed for survival, not through competition, but through unconditional, quiet care. Take a slow, full breath. Feel the shared life force moving through the roots around you, the energy being gathered, conserved, and distributed by the ancient network. You are utterly secure. The dialogue of stress is not about fear. It is about the profound comfort of belonging to an enduring system where you will always be supported. Rest now, held in the immense, quiet collaboration of the hidden foundation. We rest here in the deep loam, having witnessed the dialogue of stress, the collaborative resilience that unites all life beneath the taiga. Now, as we observe the roots more closely, we uncover an even deeper layer of connection, the kinship code, the secret language of unconditional familial support. while the vast fungal bridge is a network of shared resources for the entire ecosystem. Scientific observation reveals that the flow of energy is often prioritized. Trees are capable of recognizing their own kin, their direct offspring, or close relatives, through subtle, complex chemical signals exchanged via the roots. When a large, established tree detects its own sapling nearby, the nature of the support changes from general cooperation to intimate, prioritized care. Visualize a massive, ancient pine, hundreds of years old, standing as a silent titan. Beneath its immense root system, a tiny sapling struggles for light in the deep shade. In the competitive surface world, the elder tree would simply absorb all the light and water, leaving the young tree to struggle. But here, in the quiet wisdom of the roots, a different law prevails. The mother tree actively reduces the competition for resources, but more powerfully, it will pump surplus carbon and critical nutrients directly into the sapling's root system through the fungal bridge, ensuring its survival against the odds. The established tree is giving its own energy, the very sugars it labored to produce, to a vulnerable relative, purely for the sake of its existence. This support is unconditional. The sapling is not required to be productive, to grow quickly, or to earn its sustenance. It is supported simply because it is. The kinship code is the biological manifestation of profound, non competitive love. Allow this profound sense of unconditional support to settle deeply into your consciousness. Release the lifelong pressure to earn your rest. In the human world, we often tie our right to rest and stability to our performance, our productivity, or our achievements. The ancient forest tells a different story. Your right to sustenance and support is innate and non negotiable. You are supported simply because you are alive, and because your health is essential to the health of the entire system. In this deep, silent space, practice applying the kinship code to yourself. Recognize the stressed, tired, and vulnerable parts of your own being: the tight shoulders, the anxious mind, the fatigued heart. Now, visualize the healthy, calm, and stable parts of your system: your slow, patient breath, the earth beneath you, the inner stillness you have cultivated, actively sending surplus energy, peace, and warmth to those vulnerable areas. You are the ancient, steady tree, and you are the vulnerable young sapling. The contract is with yourself, unconditional care in the dark. There is no judgment here, only the constant, quiet work of nourishment and support. You are giving your own tired system exactly what it needs, without demanding immediate, visible growth in return. This profound realization that the forest is based on a foundational act of prioritized, selfless giving is the deepest secret of the taiga's longevity. It is the peace that comes from knowing you are part of a structure built on care, not chaos. The kinship code ensures that no member of the family is left behind, and this guarantee creates an absolute psychological and biological safety net. Sink into the deep, dark loam, enveloped in this biological love. Feel the sense of being prioritized and protected by an ancient, patient force. You are released from the burden of competition. You are sustained by the energy of your ancestors, the accumulated stability of millions of years of life cycles. You are resting in the unconditional support of the earth itself. Take a final, slow breath, internalizing the gentle rhythm of this silent conversation. Chapter is complete. The hidden life of the roots has spoken, and its message is peace, cooperation, and unconditional endurance. The Millennium Rhythm, the time of roots. We rise slightly from the deepest loam, not leaving the roots, but shifting our perception to understand the rhythm of the millennium. We are no longer observing the width of the network, but the depth of its time. The forest's true anchor is not just physical, it is temporal, written into the very structure of the wood. The ancient Taiga measures time using a silent, unhurried, and perfect calendar, the annual ring. Visualize the immense, massive trunk of one of the oldest trees, a sentinel that has stood for centuries. In your mind's eye, see a cross section of its wood, revealing the perfect, concentric circles spreading out from the core. Each ring is not just a mark, it is a complete, objective record of 1 year of life. The annual ring is the geometry of time. In a single ring, we see the entire non-judgmental history of a year. The wider, lighter section of the ring, the early wood, represents the rapid, necessary growth of spring and early summer, the time of active reaching. The thinner, denser, darker section, the late wood, represents the deliberate fortification of late summer and fall, the time of conservation and preparing for rest. The tree does not experience the years as a hurried succession of events. It experiences them as an unbroken cycle of reaching and resting. There is no judgment of a thin ring, a year of drought or stress, or a wide ring, a year of bounty. Both are simply recorded, accepted, and integrated into the structure. The tree understands that every phase, the stretching outward and the dense consolidation inward, is equally essential for its long-term survival. Allow your mind to adopt this perspective. Release the human tendency to judge your own past cycles, the years of intense work versus the years of slow, fallow rest. Recognize that the thin rings of deep conservation were just as vital as the wide rings of active growth. You needed both to build your present strength. The tree does not panic over a slow year. It simply makes the most of the resources available and records the event, knowing the cycle will inevitably turn again. This is the peace of unconditional acceptance of your timeline. Your time is not a linear, frantic race toward a finish line. It is a perpetual, reliable circle, a constant, unwavering rhythm of light and shadow, expansion and retreat. You are always exactly where you need to be in your own circle of life. Feel the profound weight and permanence of this ancient calendar. The clock that dictates your rest is no longer the digital, fleeting clock of the surface, but the slow, patient clock of the millennium rhythm. 1 year is just one thin line in a vast, sprawling history. This immense scale shrinks all temporary anxieties down to their true size. Tiny fluctuations in a cycle that will continue unperturbed for centuries. Focus on the core of the tree, the oldest, densest wood at the center. This core, the heartwood, is no longer biologically active, but it provides the ultimate structural support, the foundation upon which all the younger rings depend. The heartwood represents your own accumulated history of stability, all the years of endurance and survival that form your deepest, most resilient center. Settle into the quiet truth of the annual ring. You are a being of immense, cyclical permanence. Your existence is a continuous, accepted record of growth and rest, stretching back to your earliest memories and forward into the deep future. You are a masterpiece of slow, cumulative effort. Rest now, secure in the knowledge that your own inner rhythm is perfectly aligned with the quiet, enduring pace of the ancient taiga. We continue to contemplate the internal structure of the annual ring, moving our focus from the mere fact of time passing to the quality of the growth itself. The taiga, in its millennia-long history, teaches us that speed is often the enemy of strength. True, enduring resilience is born from slow growth and deep commitment. In other younger forests, we might find pioneer species, trees that rush to grow, putting out wide, soft rings year after year, desperate to reach the light first. Their wood is often porous, their structure fragile, and their lifespan relatively short. They are masters of the sprint, but they are vulnerable to the first major storm. They lack density. The ancient pines and cedars of the taiga operate under a different, more profound contract. Their growth is agonizingly slow, sometimes adding just a millimeter or two of width in a year. Yet this slow pace is their greatest strategic advantage. Because the growth is unhurried, the wood created, especially the dark, late wood laid down in the consolidation phase of late summer, is intensely dense, hard, and resinous. This is wood that is engineered for endurance, resistant to rot, insects, and the crushing weight of snow. This is the ultimate lesson in commitment. The trees commit their energy not to fleeting size, but to unwavering density. They value durability over display. They invest their resources into the foundational structure, ensuring that every millimeter of growth is an investment that will pay off across centuries. Allow your mind to absorb this wisdom of density. In your own life, anxiety and stress are often rooted in the pursuit of fast, fragile results. We rush tasks, rush healing, rush change, only to find the results lack true resilience and require constant, exhausting maintenance. The forest urges you to cease the rush and commit to the density of your stillness. With your next few breaths, focus on the stillness in your core, your anchor in the deep loam. Instead of letting your mind race, commit to the profound, slow effort of deepening your internal peace. Let your calm not be a quick, superficial relaxation, but a dense, hard-won stillness that is resistant to the chaotic forces of the outside world. You are building inner heartwood, solid, enduring, and utterly stable. The ancient pace is also a masterclass in metabolic efficiency. Because the trees grow slowly, their demand for nutrients is constant, steady, and entirely predictable. They avoid the catastrophic energy peaks and troughs that exhaust other forms of life. They have achieved a perfect, sustainable balance between intake and expenditure. They prove that conservatism in energy leads to radical longevity. Embrace this conservation now. Release the psychological habit of constant expenditure. You do not need to be producing, communicating, or reacting at high speed. You are in a phase of deep commitment to rest. Allow your heart rate to slow, your breathing to become shallower and more rhythmic, and your brain waves to sink into the steady, slow frequencies of deep recovery. Your body is entering the ultimate state of efficiency, drawing on the immense, slow energy of the earth itself. Feel the profound stability of this unhurried existence. The taiga's strength is not in its dramatic movements or quick reactions. It is in its unshakable slowness. It teaches us that the greatest power lies in the refusal to be rushed. When you are moving at the pace of slow growth, you become immune to the urgency of temporary demands. Settle deeper into the dense, cool loam. You are building an internal foundation of resilience, wood that is dense, resinous, and engineered for the long-term survival of your spirit. You are making a deep commitment to your own well-being, prioritizing the quality of your internal stillness over the quantity of your external output. Rest now, secure in the knowledge that your slow, patient pace guarantees your strength. We are now contemplating the elder's stasis, the profound, unhurried peace embodied by the oldest trees in the taiga. These are the Millennium Sentinels, the pines and cedars that have quietly stood for 5, 7, or even 10 centuries, witnessing countless human lives pass beneath their boughs. They are the living embodiment of deep time and the ultimate proof of the power of slow growth, deep commitment. When a tree reaches this immense age, its relationship with the environment fundamentally changes. It is no longer fighting for space or light. Its position is guaranteed. It has weathered every major storm, survived every generational drought, and outlasted every passing pest. The struggle for survival has transitioned into the steady, peaceful work of endurance. This is the Elder's stasis, a state of being where all significant threats have been neutralized by the sheer passage of time and the accumulation of stability. Allow your mind to rest in this immense sense of guaranteed security. Visualize yourself embodying the consciousness of such an ancient sentinel. You are too big to be hurried, too dense to be knocked down, and too deeply rooted to be moved. The minor irritations and fleeting anxieties of the day become utterly irrelevant when viewed from the perspective of 500 years. They are tiny insects that will pass in a fleeting season. The elder's stasis is the ultimate antidote to anxiety, which is often the fear of future instability. The ancient tree provides a powerful, visual counterargument. Look at me. I have persisted. The very act of longevity proves the effectiveness of the underlying foundation. The oldest life in the forest teaches us that endurance is inevitable if the foundation is true. In this state of great age, the tree's metabolism operates at an absolute minimum. Its processes are refined, minimal, and immensely efficient. The elder focuses its remaining energy on core maintenance and, crucially, on kinship support, pumping sustenance and stability into the younger, more fragile elements of the forest through the fungal bridge. Its primary role shifts from individual survival to communal stability. This is the peace of purpose fulfilled. The elder tree is at rest, not because it is idle, but because its core mission, to stand, to endure, and to support the future, is being fulfilled simply by being. There is no striving, no ambition for future growth, only the quiet, powerful affirmation of its present, rooted existence. Sink into the slow, rhythmic pulse of this great, ancient life. Feel the deep, calm energy that flows from a body and mind that have seen it all. The panic and urgency of the outside world cannot penetrate this great age. The elder is a deep well of patience, observing the hurried comings and goings of the world from a place of unshakable, silent authority. The stability you seek is not something you must frantically build. It is something you must simply access. It is the accumulated peace of your own past endurance, the hard, dense wood you have already created. Rest now, held in the deep, slow rhythm of the Millennium Sentinels. Let their profound, unhurried peace flow into every cell of your body, guaranteeing a rest that is as deep and as long as the life of the ancient Taiga. You are safe in the stability of age. We are now observing the Taiga's persistence, the collective strength and continuity of the entire boreal forest ecosystem across thousands of years. We move past the individual elder and contemplate the forest as a single, immense living continent, a vast silent entity whose stability is guaranteed by its sheer scale and its deep, unhurried history. The taiga is the oldest biome on Earth, a landscape defined by its unwillingness to change. While other, younger ecosystems oscillate wildly with climate shifts or sudden human pressures, the taiga maintains its core identity. Its vastness means that localized stresses, a small fire, a pocket of drought, a momentary shift in pest population, are absorbed and neutralized by the immense, self regulating stability of the whole. This permanence is the ultimate source of security. Visualize the forest floor beneath you as an endless expanse of the loam and the hidden foundation, stretching across continents. There is no edge, no vulnerability, only a continuous, deep commitment to the cycle of slow growth and deep commitment. This is the peace of knowing you are part of a system that is too big, too old, and too committed to fail. The taiga teaches us the difference between temporary reaction and permanent persistence. The surface world constantly reacts to novelty, but the forest only responds to the rhythms that matter: the sun's angle, the slow march of seasons, the geological tempo of nutrient return. It filters out the noise of temporary fluctuations and anchors itself only to eternal constants. Allow this profound sense of persistence to sink into your rest. Release the feeling that you must constantly adapt, react, or perform to temporary, fleeting circumstances. You are not a temporary species. You are a being of immense, enduring potential, connected to the same ancient rhythms as the deepest roots. Your core identity, your truest self, is rooted in stability that persists beyond the surface chaos. The ultimate goal of the taiga is not rapid expansion or spectacular display. It is survival through stability. Every function, from the slow decay of the nurse log to the generous giving of the kinship code, is designed to ensure the perpetual existence of the whole. The forest is not concerned with winning, it is concerned with enduring. Embrace this endurance now. Feel the deep, dense stability of the earth beneath you as a promise of your own unwavering presence. The taiga has persisted through ice ages and geological shifts. It understands the meaning of the long term. Your anxieties, by comparison, are simply the rustling of a few pine needles in a momentary gust of wind. They do not threaten the core. Sink into the deep, cool, patient energy of this ancient biome. You are surrounded by the unhurried wisdom of a million-year-old system. This energy is not frantic, it is persistent, quiet, and absolutely reliable. You are becoming one with the rhythm of the taiga's persistence, a stability that is both immense and eternal. Take a slow, deep breath, inhaling the calm of 10,000 centuries of quiet endurance. Exhale all remaining doubt and tension. You are grounded, whole, and perfectly secure in the heart of the world's most enduring life system. The spiral of decay, the energy of return. We transition our awareness now from the enduring life of the Elder Sentinel to the profound peace found in its final act, the necessary fall. This is not a moment of failure, but the ultimate, defining moment of surrender, a full, complete release of form and striving. In the fast, visible world, a fall is often associated with catastrophe, defeat, or sudden, violent ending. In the ancient taiga, the fall of a great tree is the most important, most generative moment in the entire millennium rhythm. It is the beginning of the spiral of decay, a process that is far slower, quieter, and more nutrient rich than any period of growth. Imagine the ancient tree, having stood for centuries, finally reaching the limit of its vertical commitment. It has resisted the wind, carried the weight of snow, and strained for the light for hundreds of years. Now, in a moment of quiet grace, it releases its grip. The wind does not defeat it. The tree simply stops resisting its fate, and gravity gently, inexorably pulls it down. Feel the profound sensation of this final, perfect surrender. The tree moves from a state of vertical tension, the constant effort required to stand against the immense force of gravity, to a state of horizontal, absolute rest. The long, tireless work of reaching upward is over. The energy that was once devoted to resistance is now instantly redirected into profound stillness. Allow your body and your mind to mimic this surrender now. Identify any area where you are still engaging in vertical tension, the need to stand tall, to hold a firm posture, to resist the forces of exhaustion or worry. This may be tension in your shoulders, in the stiffness of your neck, or in the constant, upright alertness of your mind. Now, consciously, gently, release your grip. Imagine the transition from a state of brittle alertness to a state of horizontal peace. When the tree falls, it stops being a target for the wind, and it stops being a struggle against the air. It settles directly into the loam, becoming one with the earth that has held its roots for so long. Your body is doing the same now, sinking deeper into the soft surface beneath you, releasing all pretense of effort and settling into the perfect gravitational embrace of the earth. The message of the necessary fall is that rest requires the cessation of striving. We often try to force ourselves to rest, creating a paradox of tension. The tree shows us that rest is simply a matter of letting go. When the trunk settles horizontally onto the forest floor, it is not inert. It begins a new, essential work, the work of dissolution. The immense, dense biomass of the tree, which took centuries to accumulate, is now committed to the service of the future. The hard, thick wood is no longer concerned with its own form. It is focused entirely on returning its stored energy to the waiting soil. This is the profound peace that comes from knowing your essential purpose is not finished. It has simply transformed. Visualize the sheer volume of accumulated stability and nutrient energy stored in the fallen trunk. Carbon, nitrogen, and minerals, painstakingly gathered over centuries, are now locked within the wood, waiting patiently for the spiral of decay to unlock them. The fallen tree becomes a great, slow release reservoir of life, providing consistent, steady nourishment to the generations that follow. It is the ultimate act of biological generosity and patience. This great log, resting on the cool, damp earth, becomes the ultimate stabilizer of the forest floor. It absorbs moisture like a sponge, prevents erosion, and provides immediate, essential shelter. It is now more useful to the entire ecosystem in its horizontal repose than it was in its vertical striving. Let this knowledge deepen your own rest. Your surrender is not an end. It is the beginning of deep internal renewal. You are released from the immediate pressures of the surface, allowing your body to begin the quiet, slow, profound work of restoration. You are now resting horizontally, becoming heavy, dense, and deeply peaceful. Take a final, slow breath, internalizing the calm authority of the fallen giant. Feel the deep, quiet satisfaction of release. You have surrendered the need to stand, the need to strive, and the need to resist. You are resting completely in the perfect, horizontal stillness of the necessary fall. The long, slow work of regeneration is about to begin. We rest beside the necessary fall, the immense fallen log that is now yielding its centuries of stored energy back to the earth. The transition from growth to decay is not a sudden collapse. It is an incredibly slow, deliberate process orchestrated by the silent workers of the forest, the fungi, the bacteria, and the microscopic life of the soil. This is the decomposer's feast. Visualize the immense surface of the fallen trunk. It is no longer just wood. It is a canvas for quiet, persistent labor. The true agents of decay are not the visible mosses, but the microscopic filaments of fungal hyphae, the same network we encountered in the Fungal Bridge. These hyphae penetrate the hard, dense wood, dissolving the lignin and cellulose, the very structures that gave the tree its vertical strength, and slowly converting them back into soft, dark, bioavailable matter. This process is the taiga's greatest lesson in unhurried commitment. The work of decomposition takes decades, sometimes centuries. It is performed day and night, regardless of season, without fanfare or visible struggle. It is the perfect model of constant, low intensity maintenance. The silent workers are never finished. They simply persist, dismantling the old structure molecule by molecule, ensuring that nothing is wasted. Allow your mind to focus on this meticulous, quiet work now. Your body is a system of constant renewal, and your rest is the time when your own internal decomposers, your cellular processes, your immune system, your deep metabolic cycles are most active. They are quietly and patiently dismantling the toxins, fatigue, and cellular stress accumulated during the day, transforming that waste into pure, reusable energy for tomorrow. Release the desire for instant results. Rest is not a sudden switch, it is a slow, persistent feast of decomposition. Settle into the knowledge that your body is expertly and tirelessly managing its own resources, committed to the long, slow work of total restoration. Observe how the decomposers treat the wood. They do not attack it violently, they gently infiltrate it. They use enzymes to softly dissolve the structure, ensuring that the process is energy efficient and non disruptive. The process of decay is profoundly peaceful because it is a process of dissolution, not destruction. The form disappears, but the energy remains, transformed. This relentless, quiet work guarantees the health of the entire forest. Without the decomposers, the massive amounts of carbon and minerals locked in the dense wood would remain inaccessible, and the entire forest would eventually starve. The act of decomposition is therefore the engine of renewal and the ultimate expression of cyclical stability. The end of one life is the direct, necessary fuel for the next. Sink your awareness into the sensokun of this deep, constant work beneath the surface. You are grounded in the knowledge that even in stillness, essential labor is being performed. Your rest is a productive phase, a time when the invisible mechanisms of renewal are operating at their peak efficiency. Feel the cool, damp presence of the fungi and bacteria, the silent workers who never stop. They are a profound source of peace, teaching you that the most important, enduring work is often the work that is unseen, unhurried, and perfectly patient. Rest now, allowing your internal decomposers to manage the feast of your restoration. You are being renewed, quietly and completely, by the patient wisdom of the Taiga's cycle. We rest within the immense, slow process of the decomposer's feast, where the old wood is being silently dismantled. This essential labor culminates in a powerful, gentle event, the nutrient pulse. This is the moment when the energy, patiently collected and locked away by the ancient tree over centuries, is finally released back into the loam, becoming immediately available to the next generation. Visualize the dense, dark wood of the fallen log. It has held carbon and nitrogen captive for hundreds of years, refusing to release them quickly. This long term storage represents deep, unhurried stability. Now, thanks to the persistent work of the fungal threads, the wood's structure dissolves, and these critical elements are gently diffused into the surrounding soil. This is not an explosive, violent release. It is a slow, steady perfusion, a pulse of life sustaining energy that lasts not for a day, but for decades. This nutrient pulse is the taiga's guarantee of future health. It ensures that the current generation does not deplete the soil because the death of the elders immediately replenishes the foundation. The fall of one giant creates a fertile hotspot of sustenance, a powerful, localized flow of stable energy that feeds the entire wood wide web. Allow your body to feel the power of this release. Your deep rest, your sleep, is your own internal nutrient pulse. All the tension, all the stress, and all the mental energy you released during the day's surrender is now being metabolized and converted into pure, simple fuel. When you awaken, you will not receive a frantic burst of artificial energy. You will receive a stable, deep flow of restored clarity and calm, drawn directly from the successful decomposition of the old fatigue. The lesson of the nutrient pulse is that nothing is ever truly lost. It is only transformed and returned. The energy of the past effort becomes the sustenance for the future. The density of the old wood becomes the softness of the new soil. Every moment of patient rest you commit to now is an investment that will return not as chaos, but as stable, predictable vigor when you awaken. Focus on the quiet transfer happening beneath you. The released carbon and nitrogen are immediately absorbed by the fine seeking feeder roots of the living trees, traveling up the trunk to feed the new growth of the canopy. The old wood is literally fueling the breath of the living forest. The entire ecosystem is sustained by this generous cycle of release and return. The stability of the forest is therefore rooted in its unwavering commitment to decay. The ability to let go of old form is the very source of its perennial strength. The taiga is perpetually renewed, not by seeking new sources of energy outside itself, but by perfectly recycling the immense resources it already holds. Sink into the deep loam, grounded in the knowledge that your own body is engaging in this perfect cycle. You are dissolving the fatigue, you are releasing the tension, and you are creating an internal nutrient pulse that guarantees your regeneration. Feel the subtle, quiet power of the earth feeding your stillness. You are resting deeply, securing your energy for the long cycle ahead. We have followed the journey of energy from the necessary fall to the nutrient pulse. The final, most intimate stage of the spiral of decay is the emergence of the nurse log. This is the ancient, fallen trunk that now rests directly on the earth, slowly dissolving, and in doing so, becoming the perfect cradle of the next generation. Visualize the fallen giant now, its surface softened by years of decomposition, cloaked in damp moss and intricate fungi. Its hard, dense wood, which once provided rigid vertical support, now provides the most perfect horizontal shelter. This log is not a corpse. It is a stable, slow-release island of life. The nurse log creates a unique, highly protected microclimate, essential for the vulnerable young saplings of the taiga. It acts as a massive sponge, absorbing and retaining immense amounts of moisture from the snowmelt and rain, ensuring that even during periods of drought, the wood remains damp, cool, and perfectly humid. It is an enduring reservoir of stability against atmospheric extremes. The young, delicate seedlings, the future of the forest, cannot survive the harsh competition of the deep forest floor or the sudden dryness of open soil. They seek the unconditional protection of the nurse log. Visualize tiny, fragile pine and spruce saplings, their roots not in the dry earth, but embedded directly into the damp, decaying structure of the massive trunk. The old tree, in its final act of surrender, becomes the ultimate nurturer. It provides immediate, rich nutrients from the nutrient pulse, and more importantly, it provides a physical barrier of protection. It shields the seedlings from deep frost, shields them from wind-borne seeds of competing species, and shelters them from herbivores. The immense stabilizing mass of the past is committed entirely to the delicate fragility of the future. Allow this powerful image of nurture to settle into your rest. Release any feeling of being exposed or vulnerable. You are resting beneath the protection of your own accumulated strength. your memories of resilience, your practiced stillness, and the inherent stability of your inner foundation. The protection you seek is internal. It is the immense, supportive mass of your own history. The lesson of the nurse log is that the deepest rest is generative. When you surrender and allow your past efforts to decompose and return their energy to your core, you are creating the perfect, protected environment for your own renewal. Your deepest rest is not an empty space. It is a warm, damp cradle where new energy and ideas are safely growing, shielded by the patient, stabilizing weight of your surrender. Feel the soft, damp moss of the nurse log surrounding you. Sink into the perfect humidity and stable temperature it provides. You are sheltered, nourished, and completely secure. The cycle is complete. The end of one form has guaranteed the robust, protected beginning of the next. The quiet green grows best in the shadow of the old. Take a slow, deep breath, internalizing the gentle, profound warmth of this ancient nursery. You are resting in the heart of the taiga's unconditional promise of life. The forest's breath, return to earth. We have explored the hidden world of the roots, the quiet work of decay, and the long, slow rhythm of time. Now, we turn our awareness back to the continuous, gentle process that defines the forest's existence, its breath. We focus on the global inhale and exhale, the immense, cyclical respiration that proves the taiga is the living, essential lung of the planet. Visualize the entire vast expanse of the boreal forest, stretching across the northern hemisphere. It is an ocean of silent, photosynthesizing life. Every hour, every day, the entire system engages in a massive, slow, rhythmic exchange with the atmosphere. The global inhale is the slow, steady draw of carbon dioxide from the air. This is the moment when the forest takes in the chaotic, spent energy of the atmosphere, the waste product of frantic activity, and pulls it down through the sentinel canopy to be internalized. This carbon is not stored quickly, it is consolidated slowly, patiently, into the dense, long-term stability of the annual ring and the root systems. With every deep breath you take now, allow yourself to merge with this global inhale. Draw the air down, not just into your lungs, but visualize yourself drawing down the surrounding ambient energy, the light, the cool air, the calm, deep into your core. Feel the quiet power of internalizing stability, just as the ancient tree converts atmospheric chaos into enduring wood. You are converting external energy into internal peace. This is the slow, deliberate acquisition of calm. The global exhale is the gentle, constant release of clean, life-giving oxygen back into the air. This oxygen is not a forceful emission. It is a soft, continuous gift, a byproduct of the quiet, essential work being done internally. This exhale is the forest's promise of sustenance to the rest of the world. Now, merge with the global exhale. Release your breath slowly and completely, letting go of any residual fatigue, tension, or anxious thought. Feel your own exhale as a gentle, quiet contribution to the surrounding air. You are releasing the old, making space for the new, and affirming the essential cycle of life. This slow, complete release is the ultimate act of surrender and renewal. The forest's respiration is an exercise in perfect equilibrium. It takes in exactly what it needs, and it gives back exactly what the world needs, all without haste, noise, or struggle. The pace is steady, the rhythm is deep, and the exchange is flawlessly balanced. This balance is the root of the taiga's persistence. Focus entirely on the connection between your own breath and the vast, slow breath of the forest. Your body's inhale matches the planet's immense draw of carbon. Your body's exhale matches the planet's gentle release of oxygen. This synchronization connects you to a rhythm that is fundamental, ancient, and unbreakable. You are not breathing alone. You are breathing in unison with the largest, oldest, most stable living system on Earth. Let the power and permanence of this global inhale and exhale settle into your body, regulating your heart rate and smoothing the rhythm of your sleep. You are breathing at the pace of the roots, the pace of the millennia. Rest now, held within the steady, continuous breath of the planetary lungs. You are utterly safe within this life sustaining cycle. We have matched our breath to the global inhale and exhale, sinking into the vast, stable rhythm of the taiga. Now, we focus on the fundamental, undeniable force that defines the experience of the roots, the grounding force, the immense, quiet power of the Earth's gravity and mass that secures everything in place. Visualize the entire weight of the ancient forest, the centuries old biomass of trunks, branches, and dense wood, all held in place, moment by moment, by the steady, unwavering pull of gravity. This force is the ultimate guarantor of stability. It is the reason the Elder Sentinels remain standing, and the reason the necessary fall ultimately surrenders to the loam. Gravity is not a burden. It is the unconditional commitment of the earth to hold you. Feel the physical reality of this grounding force in your own body now. Allow yourself to become profoundly heavy. Imagine the weight of the dense, water-saturated wood, the mineral-rich rock, and the cool, heavy loam of the taiga flowing into your limbs. Let your muscles, which often hold tension in a vain attempt to support or resist, completely yield to the power of gravity. This surrender to weight is the key to deep rest. In the surface world, we expend immense energy fighting gravity, sitting upright, maintaining posture, holding our heads high, all of which keeps our nervous system subtly alert. Down here, in the realm of the roots, we release the fight. We become as heavy as the earth. Notice the specific points where your body contacts the surface beneath you. Feel the density and the pressure at your shoulders, the deep anchoring sensation in your hips, and the complete release of weight in your heels. These points of contact are your anchors to the loam. With every second that passes, imagine yourself sinking 1 micron deeper into the supportive, unmoving mass of the earth. This deep sinking is the experience of absolute security. When you are truly heavy, you cannot fall. When you are entirely surrendered to the pull of the earth, you cannot be moved by turbulence or chaos. The grounding force acts as a giant, encompassing barrier, preventing the rapid, frantic movements of anxiety from taking hold. Your stability is guaranteed by the physical mass of the planet. Let your internal world match this external weight. Release the heavy burden of responsibility you carry in your mind. Just as the tree releases its vertical tension in the necessary fall, release the mental tension that insists you must be constantly up and alert. You are sinking into the deep, dark, stable containment of the taiga's heart. This density is a form of powerful, restorative containment. When your energy is dispersed and light, it is easily scattered by external events. When your body is heavy and grounded, your energy is conserved, concentrated, and contained within your core, ready for the slow work of regeneration. You are becoming a powerful, dense reservoir of stillness. Take a slow, deep breath, inhaling the cool, mineral scent of the deep earth. Exhale all remaining lightness and commit to being heavier, denser, and more profoundly still than you have been all day. You are resting under the immense, unwavering promise of the grounding force. You are secure. We have explored the two opposing forces that define our existence: the frantic, fleeting time of the surface world and the immense, unhurried time of the roots. Now, in the deep calm of the loam, we arrive at the profound realization of the unity of time, of the two paces are not enemies, they are two essential parts of the same vast cosmic rhythm. The tension we often feel, the anxiety that we are moving too fast or too slow, stems from our disconnection from the millennium rhythm. We judge ourselves by the clock of the temporary high frequency signal, forgetting that our true biological self is governed by the slow, patient clock of the annual ring. Allow yourself to release the pressure to reconcile these two paces. You do not need to choose permanently between speed and stillness. The ancient taiga, during its brief, intense summer, engages in frantic, necessary growth, putting down the wide, light rings of the early wood. But that rapid growth is only possible because it is followed by the long, dense, fortifying rest of the late wood and the great seasonal pause. The lesson of the unity of time is that action and rest are not opposites, they are successive phases of the same perfect, enduring cycle. Your moments of high output and active striving are necessary, but they must be equally matched by moments of deep, non negotiable rest. The energy required for the sprint is entirely dependent on the energy conserved during the prolonged, slow pause. Visualize your own life cycle as a single, powerful, annual ring. See the fast, outward reaching energy of your busy periods seamlessly blending into the slow, dense consolidation of your quiet times. Both are essential, both are valuable, both are recorded without judgment as part of your unique persistence. Sink your awareness into the sensation of being perfectly timed. You are not behind schedule. You are not ahead of the curve. You are moving at the pace that is guaranteed by the deep internal commitment of your own body to stability. This internal rhythm is slow, patient, and absolutely reliable. It is the rhythm of the roots. The taiga demonstrates that deep time provides the foundation for effective fast time. Because the roots are so strong, the trunk can withstand the stress of rapid growth. Because your core is so deeply rested, you can manage the necessary stresses of your active life without being broken by them. The slowness you embrace now is the strength insurance for your future speed. Take a slow, unifying breath. Inhale the vast, unhurried peace of the millennia. Exhale any lingering resistance to the quiet moment. You are merging your fleeting human experience with the eternal, quiet truth of the earth. You are a being defined by cyclical harmony. Rest now in the peace of this realization. Your time is perfect. Your pace is true. You are completely synchronized with the unshakable unity of time. We have reached the culmination of our journey deep beneath the taiga, held securely in the grounding force and moving in synchronization with the unity of time. We now arrive at the final synthesis, a perfect state of equilibrium embodied by the color, texture, and silence of the quiet green. The quiet green is the color of the ancient conifer needles, a deep, permanent hue that does not change with the fleeting seasons. It is the color of unwavering commitment, the promise of life that persists through the harshest winter and the longest pause. It is the visual representation of the taiga's resilience, its persistence across millennia. Allow this deep, tranquil green to wash over your internal landscape. Let it absorb all the last residual colors of urgency, heat, and high frequency stress. The quiet green is cool, steady, and profound. It is the color of stability achieved through slow growth and deep commitment. Feel it calming the visual centers of your mind, bringing a vast, unhurried peace. In this state of synthesis, recognize the three anchors we have established: the hidden foundation, spatial anchor. You are not alone. You are connected to an unconditional network of support, the fungal bridge, and the kinship code. Your safety is guaranteed by the collaboration of the whole. Feel the security of being deeply rooted, heavy, and held. The millennium rhythm, temporal anchor. You are not rushed. Your pace is set by the annual ring, a cycle of perfect acceptance. You are moving at the speed required for endurance, prioritizing density and longevity over speed. You are resting in the elder's stasis, the spiral of decay, energetic anchor. You are not wasting time. Your current rest is the engine of future renewal. You are a nurse log, transforming past effort and fatigue, the necessary fall, into the pure, stable nutrient pulse needed for your next phase of life. Your surrender is your most powerful work. Now integrate these anchors into your forest's breath. Let your inhale be the global inhale, slowly, gently drawing in the clean, deep stability of the earth. Let your exhale be the global exhale, a complete, quiet release of all tension, a generous return of peace to the space around you. Your entire body is now synchronized with the ultimate rhythm of the taiga, slow, deep, and unwavering. There is no need for thought, no need for effort, and no need for striving. The great ancient forest is holding you. Its peace is your peace. Its stability is your foundation. Sink one final time into the cool, dark loam, accepting the safety of the grounding force. You are dense, quiet, and completely protected by the taiga's persistence. Rest now, secured in the heart of the quiet green. Grounding and return. We now begin the soft, gentle transition away from the imagery of the deep taiga and into your state of ultimate rest. We are not leaving the stability of the forest behind. We are carrying its deepest, quietest wisdom, the forest's breath, back into the stillness of your own body and mind. Take a moment to reaffirm the three great truths you have absorbed from the roots: interdependence, patience, and renewal. You have seen that true strength comes not from standing alone, but from the network of support beneath the surface. Kinship code. You have accepted that longevity is guaranteed by the refusal to be rushed, slow growth, deep commitment, and you have learned that the greatest source of future energy is the complete, non judgmental surrender of the past, the necessary fall. Let these lessons settle like the heavy, cool loam into the deepest parts of your consciousness. They are not merely ideas, they are biological commitments, ancient instincts for survival that prioritize rest and conservation above all else. You are entering a state of optimal metabolic efficiency, a phase designed for profound internal maintenance. Focus once more on the rhythm of your breath, the unhurried heart that now moves at the patient, steady tempo of the millennium rhythm. Your breathing is shallow, even, and requires no conscious effort. The stability of the grounding force, the deep, reassuring weight of your body has taken over the duty of holding you. There is no longer any need to be alert, aware, or vigilant. The sentinel canopy has filtered the noise. The geometry of light has softened the visual demands, and the great seasonal pause has suspended all external striving. You are fully and irrevocably secured in your own internal winter, a time of quiet, necessary retreat. As you drift now, feel the dense, dark, comforting energy of the nurse log surrounding your mind. This log is the cradle of the next phase of your life. It is your safe space where the seeds of renewal are growing, shielded by the weight and silence of your surrender. Trust this process completely. Your deepest sleep is your most productive phase. Imagine you are one of the ancient, wise roots of the taiga. Your consciousness is sinking deeper and deeper into the loam, past the humus, past the moisture, into the cool, dark mineral earth, where time is slow and stillness is absolute. You are safe from the wind. You are safe from the sun. You are simply being, resting perfectly in your foundational commitment. We will now gently affirm the final surrender into deep sleep or profound rest. I will guide you through a series of mental releases. Let go of the sounds around you. They are distant, irrelevant echoes of a world that does not need you right now. Let the silence of the taiga veil absorb them completely. Let go of the light behind your eyelids. Let the visual energy dissipate entirely, replaced only by the calm, dense darkness of the loam. Your mind is quiet, dark, and utterly peaceful. Let go of the thoughts that flicker across your awareness. They are like fleeting pine needles falling to the forest floor. Do not grab them. Do not chase them. Let them fall, knowing they will be silently decomposed and returned as pure rest. Allow the word rest to echo softly in your mind. Rest, heavy, still, safe. You are now entering the phase of deepest rest. The journey is complete. The wisdom of the roots is anchored within you. When you eventually awaken, you will emerge renewed, fortified, and utterly resilient, carrying the deep, unhurried peace of the quiet green into your day. Sleep now, or rest deeply. You are secure in the immense, unwavering stability of the ancient taiga. Good night.